Hi guys, this is my Hoya Rosita. This is the Rosita, and there's actually two of them. There's another one right here. This was just in one pot, so that it wasn't like two separate pots. This is the Heuschkeliana, and this is the Heuschkeliana pink, which means that the flower is going to be pink. There is also a Heuschkeliana yellow, and I don't know if there's a different variety aside from those. I do have the variegata. A little story time. So the Heuschkeliana, I've wanted to get, I think the pink or the yellow or both. I wasn't really very interested with the variegata, but for whatever reason, that was the one available for me the soonest. And I remember being really on the fence with it, and it actually took me a while to make the decision to get it. And I'm thinking, if I can't get the pink or the yellow, then maybe I'll just get this one. Maybe it'll be okay. And I actually really love that one. This came upon an opportunity for me to acquire this one, so I jumped at the chance. So the Rosita is a cross between a Hoya Wayeri and a Hoya Tangi. And so this is what she looks like. So if you can, I don't know if you could see that, but a tangy, this is usually a very tangy kind of look, and it's not as elongated as a Wayeri, because a tangy is more of, it's kind of shorter, but a little bit more rounder, if that makes sense. This actually looks more of like a tangy leaf. It's not as elongated. So it really, this is definitely like the perfect blend of both, because a Wayeri is skinnier, but longer. So Rosita was not on my list, but it came with like the same seller, and I usually want to get more than one plant from the same source. It's just easier, I think, when it comes to, shipping that. To me, it feels like the more crowded the box is, the better it is. I don't know if it's psychological. I just kind of feel like it kind of helps them kind of stay there sturdier. Plus, I get more than one in one shipping. That's just awesome. So the reason I put two different kinds of plants in this one pot is because they were not very established. I mean, the root system was decent, but they would not have survived by themselves in one pot by themselves. So that was the reason that I did that. I don't really know how long they're going to stay in the self-watering pot. This is a homemade pond, and I will link down below what I'm using. I really, really like it, and so far I've used it with my other pots, and it's been doing really well. I can't believe that I've only known about this for such a short amount of time, and I really, I don't have any complaints, but I've only been using it for a short amount of time, so I can't really give you information in like long-term, like years. I use a self-watering system. I actually prefer this type of self-watering system where you can actually take the liner off. So if you do overwater it, you can actually just, take the excess out, which is very important to me. You have to understand that just because it's in a self-watering pot and there's a reservoir in the bottom, it doesn't mean that you should actually overwater the plant. Or the pot. What I mean is that you have to follow the level. If the level goes above the max line, always take the excess off. And the reason for that is you are going to overwater the plant. So this was actually just transplanted and watered. And it's a thirsty bunch of plants. And it's already about almost halfway out. But that's okay. The great thing about this is that if you are one of those like gardeners or indoor hard gardeners that don't really want to water every day, want to just, let the plant flourish by itself, that's good. However, for me, the reason that I had to switch my Hoyas, and I will slowly switch my older ones into self-watering, is that they are epiphytic, and aside from the really basic ones, which is Carnosa. For me, Carnosa and the Pubicalix has been really easy to grow for me. Everything else was slowly dying or died. So I kind of thought maybe I'll just switch this. It started with my Wayeti, and if I didn't really see this system, I never would have started to acquire Hoyas again. I was very disappointed in owning Hoyas because it was very difficult for me. And that is because every Hoya can be slightly different. So, and what I was using my Wayeti was I tried different types of soil before I switched it to pond, which you guys have probably already seen my vlog update on that one. Is I was using my Hoya homemade chunky mix. So it was orchid bark, perlite, and cactus soil. And it was still like slowly dying every day. It was so like heartbreaking. So now, when I saw it not really deteriorating the very next day, I got very inspired, and that's why I'm starting to get more Hoyas, and I'm only gonna put them in pond and self-watering pots, and I'm never gonna go back to like a soil mix or a chunky mix again. It's going to be just pond from now on. I've only had this for a short amount of time, like I said, and this one has a little bit of growth, if you can see that. That's new growth that I don't believe it had when I first got her. And this one also has new growth. It's very quick. I would really, I would say it's a combination of a lot of things, not just one thing. It's a combination of the pot. It's a combination of what I'm feeding them. And maybe it's also another thing is that I do add a ton of nutrients in what I feed in the water. That could also help. I've also experimented and tried this with a foliar spray that I did homemade. I'm not going to share what I'm using because it's all experimental, and I've only been using it for a short amount of time, and I don't want it that people would use it and then it would kill their plants and then I get blamed. So I'm going to wait until I'm done with my experiments, and then I'm going to start sharing that because I want everybody to enjoy Hoya blooms or flowering plants that they want to encourage more buds or peduncles. That's a Hoya term. Peduncles or umbels or more flowers. So if you don't know, because I just recently found out what the Hoya, buds are called. They're called peduncles. And the reason they're not called buds is because it's a cluster of buds, I think. That's my son. What, honey?
That's buds.
Yeah, but for Hoyas, it's called peduncle. Can you say peduncle?
Peduncle.
Oh, what about umbel?
Umbel.
There you go. That's easier. So, that's what it is. And yeah, I really want to see my own peduncle start to grow and give me flowers and experience a Hoya flower. And another reason why I switched and want to switch all of my Hoyas into self-watering is because I can only grow my orchids in self-watering, and I have never had any issues in regards to getting them to flower over and over again. I've actually figured out the right combination for me to make the blooms last longer and have heavier yields in regards to buds and flowers, and they're healthy, very, very healthy, and the blooms do last much longer than it used to be. And I think I have, kind of mastered that. I mean, I don't want to brag or anything, but I feel very proud of it because it's been a long journey for that. So I kind of want to replicate that with my Hoyas because I didn't know this before I got on Hoya, that they are epiphytic, which is the same as an orchid. So in the wild, what they do is they climb on trees, and they prefer to not be soggy or not really be in the dirt. So they prefer that. They prefer a ton of humidity. And with the self-watering, they will be getting the humidity, in my personal opinion, and it's because there's always water in the reservoir, and it's always slowly giving them some kind of moisture. And I think that's what helped my orchids, because a lot of people are always shocked how I grow my orchids. They're always either growing buds if there are no more blooming flowers, or they're always in bloom. And I think someone even asked me if they were artificial. I don't have artificial plants. So I want to do that with my Hoyas. And it wasn't overnight. It took a few months to actually kick in with the new formulation that I did provide for them. But once that did happen, it's been smooth sailing ever since. And, you know, I still tweak it here and there. But anyway, that was another big reason. I just want my plants to really flourish. And who doesn't want that, right? So this is the first diary vlog for these two plants. And all of these issues, these came with the plant itself, because I've only had this for such a short amount of time. So there's no new growth. If there was a new growth and there were nicks and issues, then that would be my fault. But this, no. So she sits, these sit in a west-facing window, I would say about less than a foot away, just because there's a pot in front of them. If on the darker days, I will supplement with LED plant light. And again, that will be linked down below as well. Anything else, let me know in the comment section, guys. I love hearing from you guys all the time. Thank you so much for all the beautiful support and the wonderful words. I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.
Bye.